This is the story of a gift that no one wanted to receive, a gift from a father to his son, a gift of death. But this boy was so brave, he didn't just accept it, he used it to discover the greatest secret of life. Namaste, beautiful souls, and welcome to the visual representation of ancient kathas from Indian spirituality. Katha, you can understand it as a story or a tale. And today I want to share with you one of the most powerful and beautiful stories from ancient India. It's a story from a sacred text called Katha Upanishad. It's not just a story, it's a conversation about the biggest questions of life. This is the story of a brave young boy named Nachiketa and his meeting with the king of death. A long time ago, there lived a very proud and wealthy man named Vajasravas. He was performing a special ritual called Yagya. A Yagya is a holy fire ceremony where you offer things to the god. There are many different kinds of Yagya that are performed for various reasons or sometimes even without a reason, but this specific Yagya is known as Vishvajit Yagya. The name Vishvajit means conqueror of the universe. The main requirement of this demanding ritual, the performer had to give away all of his worldly possession as dakshina, or you can say charitable gifts. But Vajasrava was not sincere. He wanted the fame of doing the ritual, but he didn't want it to lose his best things. So he decided to cheat. He gathered all of his old, sick and weak cows, the ones that couldn't give milk anymore, and started giving them away. His young son Nachiketa was watching this. Nachiketa was a pure-hearted boy with a very sharp mind. He saw his father was giving away useless cows. At this time, it is believed that his age was less than 10 years. Despite this tender age, he knew that this was wrong and he felt very sad. So he went to his father and asked a simple, innocent question. Nachiketa asked, "Father, you are giving away these cows that have been milked dry. They are too weak to even eat grass. What kind of gift is this? You can never achieve what you want by doing such cheating in a yagya. Instead of heaven, you will get hell." The father, busy with his ritual, ignored him. Nachiketa asked again, and then a third time. The father tried to convince Nachiketa many times, but Nachiketa didn't change his mind. Instead, Nachiketa said, "In this Vishvajit Yagya that you are doing, you are supposed to give away your most valuable possessions. And your most precious possession is me, your son. To whom will you give me?" Annoyed and angry, the father snapped without thinking. After numerous unsuccessful attempts to convince his son, he finally said, "Fine, I give you to Yama." Now Yama is the god of death in Indian stories. He is the lord of the afterlife, the one who guides souls when they leave their bodies, and also he is the son of the sun. This was a terrible thing to say. It was like a curse. But Nachiketa was a boy of truth. He took his father's word seriously. He believed a promise must be kept, even an angry one. So the brave Nachiketa left his home and started his journey to the abode of Yama, the king of death. Nachiketa arrived at Yama's grand palace, but the gatekeeper told Nachiketa that Yama was not there. He was out doing his work in the world of the living. So Nachiketa did what a good guest should do. He sat down at the doorstep and waited. He waited for 3 days and 3 nights. He had no food, he had no water. He was a guest who had received no welcome. Finally, Yama returned to his palace. He saw this pure young boy waiting at his door. In Indian culture, a guest is like a god. To have a guest go without food and water for 3 days was a great sin for the host, even for the god of death. He asked the guards that why didn't he was offered the treatment of a guest. They said that Nachiketa himself didn't wanted to eat or drink anything unless he meets you. Yama was filled with regret. He approached Nachiketa and bowed to him. Yama said to Nachiketa, "O noble little boy, you have been a guest at my home for 3 days without any food or water. This is my great fault. To make up for this, I will grant you 3 wishes. Please ask of anything you desire." This was the moment of truth. The king of death himself was offering 3 boons. Let's see what this young boy asked for. The first wish. Nachiketa said, My first wish is for my father. Let his anger be cooled. When I return to him, may he be happy to see me. May he welcome me with love and recognize me as his son again. So, his very first wish was not for himself, but for his father's peace of mind. Yama was impressed. He immediately granted it. Yama said, "It is done. Your father will be free of his anxiety. He will sleep in peace and welcome you with an open heart." Now, the second wish. After Yama granted the first wish for his father's peace, Nachiketa asked for his second boon. This was a wish for sacred knowledge. Nachiketa asked, "Lord Yama, in heaven they say there is no fear, no old age, no hunger, no sorrow. People reach there by performing certain sacred fire ritual or yagyas. You are all knowing. Please teach me that specific Agni which leads a person to that heavenly world." Now let's understand this. Agni is the Sanskrit word for fire. But in this context, it's not just an ordinary fire. It is a sacred fire, the divine witness of all rituals, the messenger that carries offerings to the gods, and a symbol of spiritual energy. Yama was very pleased with this question. It showed that Nachiketa was seeking a higher goal, not just worldly pleasures. Yama said, "Excellent Nachiketa, you have asked about the Agni, that is the bridge to the celestial realms. I know this fire very well. I will explain it to you in full detail." Yama was so happy with this curiosity about this sacred knowledge that Yama said that now this knowledge shall be known as Nachiketa fire. Yama gave a detailed knowledge to Nachiketa about this holy fire. By granting this wish and naming the fire after him, Yama was honoring Nachiketa as the first knower of this sacred path, establishing him as a great sage in his own right, even before he asked the final ultimate question. The third wish and the biggest question. Now, for the third and final wish, Nachiketa asked the question that forms the heart of this entire story. Nachiketa asked, "Lord Yama, there is a great doubt about what happens after a person dies. Some say the person exists after that. Others say the person does not. Please tell me the truth. What happens to the soul when the body dies? Is there any way by which a soul can get free of this cycle of rebirth?" He further added that you are the Lord of Death. There can be no other person better than you who can answer my questions. Yama was taken aback. This was the ultimate secret. He did not want it to give this knowledge away so easily. Yama said, "O Nachiketa, even the gods of old had doubts about this. This knowledge is not easy to understand. Do not push me on this. Ask for something else instead. Ask for a long life, great wealth, many children, beautiful kingdoms, anything you want in this world. But do not ask me about the secret of death." But Nachiketa was not an ordinary boy. He was a true seeker of truth. Nachiketa said, "All these things you offer, long life, wealth, palaces, these are all temporary. They wear out and end. Just like these old cows my father was giving away. They cannot answer my questions. I do not want what everyone else wants. I want the truth that you alone can give me." Yama still tried by offering him heaven. He said that I can give you everything that an enlightened soul or a knowledgeable sage can get, but don't ask me this question. But Nachiketa said that I just want the answers, nothing else. Seeing Nachiketa's pure determination, Yama smiled. He realized this boy was a worthy student, so he began his teaching. He started with a beautiful example to explain our human condition. Yama said, "Think of your own self, your soul, as the master of chariot. Your physical body is the chariot itself. Your five senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, are the five horses pulling the chariot. Your mind is the reins that control the horses, and your intelligence, your power to decide, is the charioteer." He explained that most people's lives are like a chariot with wild, untrained horses. The senses run in all directions, chasing pleasure. The mind is weak and cannot hold the reins. The intelligence, the charioteer, is not in control. Such a person never reaches their destination, they just keep getting lost. But a wise person is different. They train their horses, their senses. They use a strong mind to hold the reins firmly. And they have an intelligent charioteer who knows the right path. This person reaches the ultimate goal of life, union with the eternal truth. Yama then revealed the great secret. Yama said, "The soul inside you, Nachiketa, is eternal. It was never born and it will never die. When the body becomes old and worn out, the soul leaves it and gets a new body. Just like a person changes old clothes to new ones. The soul is not what dies, it is forever." The goal of life is to realize that you are this eternal soul, not the temporary body. This realization is true freedom, true happiness. This is what is known as moksha, which means liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Yama also said that out of all the lives that exist, only human life is capable of achieving liberation. While answering several other cross questions of Nachiketa, Yama also said that divine energy exists in every living and even non-living beings. Nachiketa also asked Yama what life does a soul gets after a human body dies. Yama answered that it is decided by the good and the bad karmas done during that human life. Nachiketa listened to this very carefully. He understood everything. He had learned the highest wisdom directly from the king of death. Yama was now his guru, his teacher. He blessed Nachiketa and sent him back to the world of the living. When Nachiketa returned, his father's heart was filled with joy, just as Yama had promised. He embraced his son and all his pride and anger had melted away. Nachiketa was no longer just a boy. He was a wise sage who had conquered death by knowing the truth about it. So, the story of Nachiketa teaches us a few simple but profound lessons. The power of the truth. Nachiketa held on to truth even when it was difficult. The value of a true question. He didn't ask for toys or money. He asked for the knowledge that truly matters. Mastering ourselves. We are the drivers of our own lives. We must learn to control our senses and mind to find real peace. We are eternal. The real us is not this body that gets sick and old. We are the eternal soul inside, which is full of peace and joy. This ancient story reminds us that the biggest questions are worth asking, and the truth is always waiting for a sincere heart to find it. Namaste.